Hello, my name is Gabriel Rizzo, and I will be giving a brief demonstration of the graphic user interface control we have implemented for our high voltage signal generator. So to start the graphic user interface, simply run a Python script. This will start your web server and begin searching for connected amplifiers on the computer. So once the graphic user interface is loaded, you'll see that it's a web page. The web page is split into panels, and each panel contains groups of functional elements. On the top is the COM status panel. This informs the user of what COM port the amplifier system is connected to. In this demo, I started without an amplifier connected. I will connect one now. You'll notice that the contents of that panel has changed to reflect the current connection situation. And in this case, we have an amplifier on COM port number 9. Below that is a phase configuration panel. This allows a user to set each of the 4 output phases independently. They can enable and disable them, set a phase shift of the waveform pattern, and then attenuate the waveform. To the right of that is a waveform configuration panel. This allows a user to set the shape from sine wave to square wave to triangle wave, set the amplitude of the waveform in volts, apply a DC offset in volts, set the output frequency in hertz, and apply a skewing factor. Below that are 2 buttons, load and apply. Load allows a user to select an arbitrary set of waveform points from the computer, and then apply collects all of the information about the phases in waveform, compiles it into a JSON object, and commits that JSON object to the connected amplifier system. Below that is an output preview panel. This allows a user to visually see what waveform they will be using. To the right of that is a control panel, and this allows the user to start and stop outputs, lock the interface, and then request a refresh of device status. So to give a demonstration, I will be setting up a 3-phase sine wave output with an amplitude of 1000 volts and an offset of 250 volts. So I'll select phase A, B, and C. I will set the output shifts. I'll go ahead and set this to sine wave. I'll apply the amplitude and the required offset. And you'll see in the output preview, this now reflects the configuration parameters I've set. So if I go ahead and change this to some other waveform shape, like square or triangle, you'll notice that the output preview changes accordingly. I'll set that back to sine. Once this is done, I can press apply. You'll notice that once I've pressed apply, the button color has changed. So the apply button has its color changed to yellow whenever a change is made in the phase configuration or waveform configuration windows. This is to inform a user that there is a pending change that has to be committed to the amplifiers. Once you press apply, the JSON is sent to the amplifier controller, and the system waits for an acknowledgement message. If an acknowledgement message is received, it turns back to blue. If one is not received, it remains yellow. So once I have everything that I want in terms of outputs, I can start the outputs. I'll press the start button. You'll notice that it changes colors to visually indicate to the user that high voltages are being output by the device. I can then press stop, and it will stop the output.